Yes, a deep breath first, that's important. So, hello everyone. Some of you may know me, and you may wonder, what am I doing here? I'm young, I'm still a student. Well, I'm not here to tell you how to become a champion, or I'm also not here to tell you how to get perfect grades. I'm here to share you my personal story on how I, from a child who was considered a bad student in China, and then to be named as Active Student of the Year at the University of Twente back in 2023. So, back in 2014, when I was still just a regular student in China, with regular grades and regular attitude, and in my school, grades were just numbers. It also defines who you are and your future. So if you get 90s, then people think that you are very good students and you have a bright future. But if you get 70, then people say, yeah, you are a failure and you are bad kids. So I was one of those 70s kids, and teachers thought I didn't study hard enough, and my classmates thought I'm not a serious person. So for a while, I started to believe that too. But in the same year, in June, my parents decided to move me to Romania, and that's how I joined BBIS. Sounds easy, but there was one big issue with that, which was I didn't speak any English, not even a word. So I still remember the very first day when I was still in school. I walked into a classroom confidently and I sat in a perfect corner that no one would interact with me. But after a while, I saw that everyone was just looking at me strangely. And I was like, oh, did I walk into the wrong classroom? And then teacher started to ask me something, which of course I didn't understand. And I didn't have the right words to explain myself. And the only thing I could do was just walking out of the classroom embarrassedly, and the entire class was just laughing at me. And from that moment on, I feel like I was constantly a step behind. I couldn't catch up with the classes. I couldn't do my homework. And when the first report card came, guess what? I failed all my classes, of course, and I almost had to repeat the year as well. So a period of time, I just thought maybe I wasn't made for studying. Maybe I am just the best student. And after a while, in grade 10, something has changed. In grade 10, lots of Chinese students joined our school, and they were like me when I first joined. Didn't speak any English, and then they were trying to integrate, but it's very difficult. And somehow, I was the one being called out by this lady over here to help with all kinds of things, like translating, explaining, talking with the parents and the teachers. It might sound difficult, but for me, I think I really enjoyed about it. It was the first time that made me realize that although I don't have perfect grades, I still have some other valuable things that I could offer. I could make a difference. So from that day on, I started to get more involved with other things besides helping all these Chinese students. I participated in the multicultural fair, organized a fundraising events, and yeah, all these things I wasn't doing because I'm getting grading for it or something. I was doing it because I felt that I could contribute. Then came the IB. Yes. Although I didn't love every subject that I had, but there's definitely one thing I loved about it, which was the class program. It pushed us to do more things outside our class that's creative and service. So it gave me more opportunities to organize more events and meet more people from different backgrounds. But most importantly, it made me to think what I really loved about. And that's the time I realized I really had a passion for event management. And naturally, you would think that I would just apply for an event management program for my university. But there's always a but. My parents wanted me to do something more technical. You know how some of your parents would want to see a doctor or engineer at their house? Mine wasn't any different. So after a long discussion, I still ended up applying for a computer science program. And that's how I ended up in the Netherlands, in a small city called Enschede, and starting a whole new chapter ahead. My first year of university was tough. It was during the COVID, although I still hold exam for IB, but the first year of university everything was online, the pressure was intense, and the study load was insane. So if you fail one or two of your courses, you will be asked to leave the course, and worst case scenario, you will be asked to leave the university and even leave the country as well. So I was studying day and night just to make sure I would pass all the classes until one day I failed the course and I was feeling like the sky has fallen. Why? Because from my Asian mentality, that if you fail one course, sometimes could feel like failing your life. So I was feeling terrified. I thought I disappointed everyone. So I studied even harder, just to make sure that we could pass all the courses, but always have the fear that we'll fail a second one. Then, after a while, I asked myself, is this how I really want my university life to be? Always feel stressed and always have the fear of failing? And you may have guessed it, the answer was no. So from that moment on, I changed my idea and mentality. Yes, grades are important, but it only defines what you know about a certain subject. It doesn't really define who you are as a person. So besides focusing on study, I also wanted to explore different things that really excites me. At first, I didn't know where to start, but after talking with friends, I realized university actually has so many time and resources and people around you that really wanted to try new things. So that's how I started. I started small, joined different student associations, helped with their events, and then volunteering in lots of local big events. And every time I try new things, I learn new things. I learned how to lead a team, how to manage chaos, how to bring ideas to come true, and how to fail without giving up. You sometimes just need to face that you fail. So all these things became something bigger later. I started to organize more events. Chinese New Year Gala was first of it, with more than 600 participants and lots of distinguished guests, like the Ambassador of China, Mayor of the city, and rectors from the university. And we did that for 3 years in a row. And then I also organized my own TEDx events, just something like this. I also even founded my own event company, where we did manage to create some events for our local communities, but failed eventually at the end. But it taught me more than any textbook could ever do. And somewhere in between, I also learned how to make sushi in a restaurant. Not only because I like it, but just in case AI would replace my tech job in the future, so I can still sell some with sushi, right? Yeah. So all these things made me happy, and it made me to balance my study and my personal well-being. And because you are doing what you love, when you come back to study, you are coming back with energy and not exhaustion. And I get this question so much time. They were like, how did you manage your study with so many things that's aside of the study? I guess it's just a passion. So by the end of my third year, I was being named as Active Student of the Year by the university. And standing on that stage, I remember the kid who used to fail classes, who was sitting silently in the classroom because he didn't speak the language. And now, I was standing on stage and everyone was cheering for me because I brought people together. So if there's one message that I would like you to take away today, it will be, grades are important, yes, for your age and especially what's coming up, but personal development are equally important. So if you have a dream, or if you are passionate about something, just go for it. Don't let anyone stop you from doing it. Just look around. There are so many opportunities out there. If you reach out and you get rejected, well, you don't lose anything. You are still at the starting point. But you will lose if you never ask. And if you think your dream costs too much, start something small. Join an association or club like me. Volunteer in a related field. Or even online. We have so many resources all days online that you can learn and practice from. Build the foundations, show people what you know, and then opportunities will come. And that's how you grow, that's how you thrive. Thank you.